Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another in the studio session with Barry Spear and Alex Taylor. Well, usually we are at the night, but as you have been hearing, I've been here in the studio, and so I've decided to call a little series call this series At Home with BJ Peer, which I started on Friday. So that's what I'm going to be calling it. Well, when we left you last time, we talked about casseroles. And it's the season for casseroles, guys. So, like we said last time, always have good unproved dishes for your oven. And joining me now in my Narrowena studio, it's a very good morning to Alex Taylor.
Morning, mate. How are you going?
Good, getting in there.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So, casseroles, we all love casseroles, don't we? But remember, use fresh ingredients. Here's my Alec now for his opening sequence on this.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. I hear you loud and clear. It is absolutely the season for casseroles as the weather gets colder. Nice to make a casserole, maybe a slow cook casserole. We actually made one last night, which was a lamb casserole. And as you say, yeah, fresh ingredients. So nice fresh onions and carrots and fresh lamb. And we had mashed potato with it. And it was super yummy.
So, the importance of making a good casserole. Before you make the casserole, guys, check the date, the use by date of the meat. Because as we said on many of the shows we have brought to you, please do not, and we repeat, do not use off ingredients. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So yeah, off ingredients, not only will they not taste good, but they will make you sick. So absolutely make sure that when you buy, particularly the meat, that it's well and truly in date, and that it's been refrigerated well. It's in good condition. Doesn't smell funny when you cook it. So just make sure, yeah, fresh ingredients is best.
So, with the unimproved dishes, guys, make sure you buy unimproved dishes that will last you a long time. We will talk about that in a moment. But your ingredients, okay, choose the best cuts of meat for your casserole, such as lean cuts of steak, lean cuts of lamb, cuts of chicken, or veal, or lamb chops, whatever. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So usually when you have a recipe, they will sort of recommend a particular cut of meat. And for example, the lamb recipe that I cooked last night recommended shoulder. So shoulder of lamb, or possibly leg, and we used shoulder. And we got nice fresh meat from the butcher, and it made a really delicious, yummy curry. No, casserole. It was not a curry; it was a casserole, and it was super yummy. And yeah, the fresh meat really makes a difference, doesn't it?
So, what time did you put the casserole on?
So started prepping at 3 o'clock. Really took the best part of an hour to get it into the oven after browning the meat and cooking the veggies and stuff. And then let it cook for another 2.5 hours. So you could really call it a slow cook casserole.
So, now, yeah, that's the basics. Now, if you don't have a dish for you that is oven proof, guys, then you can go to put your casserole in. Okay, guys, you are going to end up with one big mess. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So you need a good casserole dish, and one that's got a heavy base, that can take a lot of temperature, and preferably with a good lid. Maybe something that can go in the oven, not just on the cooktop. And if you invest in a pretty good one, I think they last a while, right? They can last decades even. So it's a good idea to make sure you've got a good dish.
So, we're going to take a bit of footage outside the studio
Fantastic.
because I'd like to show you viewers at home the outside of the building, and we'll do a bit of a spiel outside, maybe down at the near the park
Brilliant.
before it starts to rain. Okay, so just to give you an update on what's happening, I'm just moving off the castle a bit, uh, going off the track. Now, just in case you missed my first at home with BJ Peer video on Friday, you can now view that. Okay. It gives you an explanation on why I've had to stay home, so I don't need to press the play button ad nauseum and bore you viewers with that. So another thing before we take the show outside the studio, okay, don't get angry if things are not going your way, guys. Please do not do that. It is not appropriate to do so. Okay? It really is not appropriate. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, it always seems to be the way, doesn't it? That if something isn't going your way, actually being calm and polite and constructive and questioning is usually more productive, isn't it? It's usually more effective to just calmly question and push back rather than to get upset. That's a much better
Or
approach.
go,
Yeah, absolutely.
or go splat
Yeah,
off the deep end.
yeah. No splashing off the deep end, mate. Absolutely. So no,
So,
just stay calm.
so we're gonna take a shot outside the studio, but before we do that, um, let's go over the lamb casserole before we take this show down to the park and do a bit of the show down there. Okay. Brown your meat well, season it with flour. Make sure you grease your oven through dish if you have to. Okay, and check the use by date of the meat. Here's Alec now to take us out to the second part of our show with that.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Absolutely. Yeah, brown the meat first in a casserole. After dusting it in flour, it creates a nice crusty base on the bottom of the pot, doesn't it? And then everything else you cook in there is flavored by the meat. So it's a very good strategy for starting a casserole, and makes it really yummy. Really yummy.
So we're gonna take a break and take the show out of the studio. So stay with us.
Awesome.
Good morning again, everyone. This is Barry Fair here with part 2 of At Home with BJ Fair. Welcome along to you and to all the viewers out there. Well, this is the outside of Oceana here. Here's Alec to tell you about it.
Yeah, thanks Barry. Thanks for having me on At Home with BJ Fear. We're just outside your place. What's the name of your place?
Oceana.
Oceana. And it's got some beautiful deciduous plants out of the front of your place, and all the leaves have dropped, and it's really looking beautiful. And we're lucky with the weather for now. Nice beautiful day.
And we're going to take you now over to the park,
Should I keep recording or cut?
and we'll talk about road safety. So always look before you cross, guys. Here's Alec now.
Absolutely, it's good. It's a good rule to have, to look left and right before you cross the road.
And down we go. So this is the Beverly Job Park. Well, no, it's not.
Is not?
It's the Narrowena Community Centre.
Uh-huh.
So
So who was Beverly? What was her name?
Beverly Job Park.
Was it renamed?
That's it over there.
Ah, okay.
So onto,
I looked both ways, mate.
and onto the. So the importance of keeping parks clean. Okay, do not litter the parks. Hear that like now.
Oh, absolutely, mate. So we've got to keep our nice public green spaces clean, don't we? Nice and clean and tidy. Everyone should take their rubbish with them or put it in the bin. We want it to be nice and pleasant for everybody, for all users of the park, don't we?
Yep, and never ever let your dog be foul onto the grass.
Yeah, that's right. You
So-
always got to pick up the business, don't you?
So
No doggy business left behind.
no doggy business.
No doggy business.
So well, so just up here we have the park here. So we're gonna turn right up here and we'll cut to another shop. So stay with us.
Rightio.
We are now entering the park. Now, just have a look at how beautiful this park is. Just have a look at it.
Isn't it fantastic? It's got like a picnic table there. We can see in the background Oceana, and lovely open green space. Nice peaceful place.
So, around we go now, and look at how big that park is. Just look at her.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Lush green grass. And we have the Narrowena Community Community Youth, Marijuana Community Centre in here. So, in here is where you can hire your hall. So, something is going on here today.
Yeah,
And,
maybe some kind of community group is having a gathering.
and what a beautiful spot this is.
Yep.
And in here is the entrance to the hall. And you can hire the hall, but we won't go in just in case.
Mm.
So, like Alec and I said, it is important that you keep the park in absolute pristine position. Here he is now.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Got to keep it clean and tidy. Make sure your dog doesn't leave any business behind.
How much is that dog
Dog.
in the window?
Woof, woof.
And you can even have a picnic here.
Yeah, it looks great for a picnic, either at the table or maybe on a picnic rug. Looks fantastic.
So there are bins provided to put your rubbish in. Here's Alex.
Yes, absolutely, and everyone should do that. Either put your rubbish in the bin when you've finished your picnic, or take it with you, take it home, put it in your own bin at home. But whatever you do, don't leave your rubbish just open in the green. Morning.
And keep the park nice and clean. And
Tidy, nice and clean and tidy.
unleash dogs exercise area.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
And we'll turn right here. Up here is the child care centre. Up here.
Yep. Probably shouldn't record any of the kids, should I? I'm going to switch sides.
And up this footpath here, we won't go all the way, okay?
Morning.
Morning. So, we won't go all the way, guys. All right.
So this is Alfred Street, is that right?
Yeah. And up here is all that shops.
So what's up there? What type of shops?
News agency,
Yeah.
things like that.
Is there a cafe?
Yes, there is.
Do you ever go to the cafe?
Sometimes
What do you have at the cafe?
I don't buy anything, but I just drive past.
Uh-huh.
And that's the bus stop here.
Yep.
Come to another shop.
Okay, cut.
Well, here we are heading back towards Oceana. And just giving you a pan around the park one more time. So it is very important, guys, to make room for cyclists. Here's Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So if you've got a cyclist on the footpath, usually they're kids, aren't they, on the footpath? And just make sure you stick to the left, and everybody should be able to pass by safely. This is quite a nice wide footpath, actually. It's a bit wider than normal, I think, this one.
Yeah. So again, we stop,
Look left and right.
look left and right, and just take a picture of my house.
Yes. Looking
Look at
nice.
that.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah, and safely across the road.
And these ramps are good too, aren't they? These.
Yeah, they weren't there when I was there.
Really? They're
So-
new.
So guys, let's head back to the studio and continue. Stay with us.
Okay.
Here we go up the driveway here. And Oceana. And out here you've got the barbecue area. Alright. Here's Alex to tell you about it.
Oh, it's a great area, this one. So nice table to sit at, a barbecue, cooking up your sandwiches, your steak, your sausages. What do you like on a barbie, mate?
Sausages.
Yeah,
So
good old sausage sandwich. Must admit, I quite like a democracy sausage as well.
yeah. And cutting one other shot. This is where I do this. So guys, this is where I do this show. Here's Alex.
Mate, this is an awesome setup, your home studio.
And I'll take a shot of my bed for you. Inside my room. I won't show you the bathroom though.
No.
And that's my TV in here. And,
yes.
and just down here, if you can press the button, Alex, open the door. And that's looking out over the dog park.
Very nice.
So there you have it. Well, here we are now, back in the studio, and the weather is changing a bit now. A bit windy out there, so if you're out in the wind, guys, rug up. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So on that little walk that we had, the weather was definitely getting a bit windier, a bit cooler.
Well, becoming windy is
Yep.
what we're looking for.
Right. And so does that align with the weather forecast?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, definitely windy, definitely feels a bit cooler, and maybe it's going to rain.
Yeah, so luckily we got the shots in. So just to give you viewers an idea of where I am and where I live, you will be able to see that when I put today's video up. So today we've been talking about casseroles. Okay, so we'll just pause that. And so today, we've said, we've been talking about casseroles. Now, if you're gonna store leftover casseroles, okay, store them in a container, label and date your contents. Here's Alec now to open the rest of today's show with that.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. So it's a good idea to save some of your casserole for another day. And if you're going to put it in the fridge, put it in a container and date the container so that you know how old it is.
And you can even freeze them as well.
Absolutely. Casseroles go well in the freezer, don't they? So once again, it's a good idea to put it in an airtight container and label it with the date so you know how old it is. But
or how long it will last for.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and of course, it'll last for a lot longer in the freezer than it will in the fridge. And then one day when you're busy, don't have time to cook a meal, you can just pull it out of the freezer and defrost it for dinner.
And put it in an oven-proof container, an oven-proof dish, guys, because like we said at the start of this program today, oven-proof dishes are really important. Don't buy cheap, crappy, nasty, oven-proof dishes that are not suitable for your oven. Here's Alec now.
Absolutely. So you want to use a nice, robust dish, something that's going to go well in the oven, and something that will last a while too, because it's a good investment, isn't it, to get a nice good oven-proof dish.
And make sure before you turn, excuse me, make sure you know what temperature to put your oven at before you cook the casserole. Look up on the recipe for this. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So usually when you're cooking a casserole, it'll tell you what temperature to cook it at. Sometimes a recipe might say just keep it on the simmer, on the stovetop, or it might give you a particular temperature for putting it in the oven.
So, guys, the importance of eating a well-balanced casserole, but we will talk about that in a moment. Now, if the casserole is off and the meat is off, please, guys, throw it in the bin because you do not want food poisoning. We have said this a number of times on our show. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. That's very good advice. If you think your meat might be off, if it's out of date or smells bad, just throw it away. Don't push on. You don't want to take the risk. So only use good, fresh, quality ingredients, particularly your meat.
Because never, ever eat something that might be a week old or 5 days old. Because you do not, and I repeat that you do not want to be in the emergency department at this moment. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you could get quite sick, couldn't you, if you ate something that was off. You don't want to end up sick or even in the emergency department if you got really, really sick. So make sure you use fresh ingredients. And fresh ingredients taste better anyway. So it's just a good idea to use as fresh ingredients as you can possibly get.
Yeah, so guys, really do think is it okay to weep the casserole? Okay, because if it's not, then don't take the risk.
Yeah. So,
And now, here's the closing sequence. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed today's program and the tour around the house. And this series is called At Home with BJ Fair. So if you've got anything you'd like me to cover, or and when Alec comes the next time, please let us know. Here's Alec.
yeah, absolutely. It's a great new series, isn't it? At Home with BJ Fear, talking about all sorts of different interesting subjects like casseroles and a tour of the local area, looking at parks. So lots of fun things to cover in this new series at Home with BJ Fear.
And 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 remember, if you're upset about being at home, guys, nothing is stopping you from going anywhere. We just saw a cab with the hoist being put down. It looks like a cab driver was picking someone up. So if you're bored at home, there are plenty of places that you can go, plenty of places to visit, such as Manly. We've been down there, West Head, well, Bobbin Head, Corango Chase, you name it, the city. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. Lots of great places to go, even sort of locally, but also broader afield. I think West Head, Bobbin Head, Palm Beach Headland is another good one. There are all sorts of really cool places to go in the area. Get out and about, enjoy the wildlife, enjoy.
And it's a good way to relieve the boredom. Like go up to the shops, buy some stuff for lunch, buy your favorite cereal, your bread rolls, you name it. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great thing to do, isn't it? Just to head out, go up to the shops, maybe buy a few bits and pieces, maybe sit and have a coffee or a tea or something. That can be quite a nice thing to do as well. So lots of fun things to do getting out and about.
So we do hope that you've enjoyed the show today. And the number that we have been closing the show with each week, my community announcement, please do not, and we repeat, please do not call 000 unless you have an emergency, guys. It is the wrong thing to do. Don't be an idiot with that number and try up the emergency services with a prank, hoax, or nuisance call. Here's Alec now to close out the show with that.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Always a good community service announcement. Great advice and a good message for the community. Make sure you don't misuse 000. It's only there for emergencies. Use it if you have an emergency, but if it's not an emergency, don't use that number.
If you're feeling lonely or down or upset, please do call Lifeline 131114, or if you're upset, email your site managers, okay, and organize a meeting with them. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people to talk to, aren't there? So there are people you can talk to if you're feeling a bit bored or upset or whatever. there are people you can reach out to, and you can talk to them.
So we hope that you've enjoyed the show today. Alec, thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
Bye bye.